friends, this is Barbara from Wigs and Fluff. Now today I had a request to talk about my diabetes, and I wanted to do that. And here we go, got my notes in order. So I wanted to put a little background for you first, where I'm coming from. I have a family history of diabetes on both sides, my mother and my father. So I'm basically going to get diabetes unless it skips my generation or it skips me, which it didn't. When I was a little girl, I used to pass out all the time. And so the doctors think I have what's called MODY, which is part 1 and part 2 combo, right in the middle between part 1 and part 2 diabetes. And that means that my diabetes is probably a little bit different from most people. I was seeing one of Atlanta magazine's top 10 doctors for diabetes, endocrinologists, and I wasn't getting anywhere. It was getting worse, and I was having weight gain problems. I just couldn't get my weight down. I couldn't get my diet right. Nothing was working for me. And I came to find out that weight gain is associated with insulin, one, and those diet pills, those like metformin and any other pills that you take for diabetes are going to give you weight gain. And you can't get around it. It's just going to keep your weight up. And having increased weight is the antithesis of diabetes. It's going to destroy your health. So I was in a predicament. My A1C was getting up to 12. And I didn't know what to do. My daily blood sugar was in the 200s, getting right on up there to 250. And so I made a change. I decided to do things radically different because I wasn't getting anywhere with modern medical science and doctors. They just were making it worse with weight gain and giving me insulin and pills that were retaining weight on me instead of helping me to lose it. One of the keys of reversing diabetes is losing that weight. So I went online and I found something online, a YouTube channel called beatdiabetes.com, and I'll leave a link for it in the box below if you're interested. It changed my life like that. And I went from very, very high blood sugar all the way down to my A1C in the 6s and getting down next to 5. It's basically a learned diet. It's a keto diet. It's a low-carb keto diet with intermittent fasting. So what that means is that you have to learn about the keto diet, and you have to learn how to use it and how to use controlled intermittent fasting. Basically what I do is, I think it's 4 mornings a month, 4 days a week, not a month. I eat at 12:30. I don't eat in the morning. I eat at 12:30 and at 6:30. And at 6:30, the kitchen's closed at the dot 6:30. No lingering, no snacking, no dessert, nothing after 6:30. And it stays closed until 12:30 the next day in the afternoon. So that's a 12-hour. So that's what you're looking for, is a 12-hour window after you finish eating for the day. 12 hours until it goes around the clock until it comes up to 12:30 the next day. So I do that 4 days a week. And 2 days a week I get to eat in the morning because I do enjoy eating in the morning. So I allow myself that a couple of days. So I eat at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and I eat at 12:30 in the afternoon. You're looking for a 6-hour window between meals. You eat 2 meals a day, not 3. The body only needs the 2 meals. So I eat at 6 and I eat at 12:30. So that's 2 days a week. And then 1 day a week, the 7th day, I eat only 1 meal. And I will list that in the description box below in case I haven't been cleared. It's 4 days. I don't eat till 12:30 noon, 12:30 in the afternoon, and my last meal for the day is 6. 2 days a week, I allow myself to eat at 6 a.m. and my last meal is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, sorry. 1 day I eat only 1 meal. So you need that 12-hour window from 1 day to the next. And you need 6-hour windows between meals. And that gives your body a chance to process what you've eaten. Okay, so that's the basis of what I'm about to explain to you. Now, this particular kind of eating, there are 2 phases. There's phase 1 and phase 2. In phase 1, you have a very restricted diet. You can have eggs, lots of eggs, cheese, whipped cream, butter, sour cream, cream cheese. You can have nuts. You can have meats like hamburger, bacon, without the sugar, not the sugared kind of bacon, but just regular bacon. You can have hamburger, you can have bacon, you can have steak, small steak, little tiny bit of steak, and chicken and turkey, and fish. You can have fish, mostly salmon. And you can have salad, lots of salad. So in the morning, the diet calls for a cup of coffee with butter. I don't drink coffee. So my morning starts out with unsweet tea. This is my favorite drink, or water. That's what I drink every day, all day long, is either unsweet tea or water. So that's just how I go. That's just how I run. I don't like coffee. I never have for some reason. Lots of people in my family don't like coffee and don't drink it. So I go for the tea. So it's whatever you particularly like. Some of you like the hot tea, that's fine. Some of you could do that with a little bit of butter in it if you wanted to, I suppose. Or you could just go for, if you're a coffee drinker, you could just go for black coffee with some butter in it. A slab of butter in it, and that's your breakfast. And you don't eat again until 12:30 in the afternoon. You just have a cup of coffee. So that's what most of them go for. All right, so you can have cheese, eggs, cheese, whipping cream, butter, sour cream, cream cheese, nuts, meats that I described, and salad. You start your day with coffee and a slab of butter. You can have almond flour and you can have coconut flour, but you cannot have any other kind of wheat. 0. No wheat products at all. No any kind of flour, no kind of bread. You cannot have any kind of bread or potatoes or rice or beans or chips, and no fruit unless you have muffins. I'm going to tell you about the muffins that you can have one morning a week using almond flour and coconut flour, and that's what I use. And when you hear me talk about my muffins get stuck in my throat, that's my little muffins that I eat sometimes. I love those muffins. I think they taste better than regular blueberry muffins. You can put 3 or 4 blueberries in there. I keep a bag of frozen blueberries in my freezer, and that's my fruit. I'll eat 3 or 4 blueberries in there. So because fruit has so much sugar in it, that's what they say, that it's really not good. Sometimes the strawberry or 2 is okay, but in this phase 1 of the diet, you're trying to get that A1C down in the 5s. That's the goal, down in the 5s. And you're going to struggle with it at first, and That's just what you do. You can also have coconut oil, and you can have vanilla, and you can have any sugar-free sweetener, like Truvia or something like that. Whatever your preference is for a sugar-free sweetener, you're going to have to find one of those. No chips and no bananas. Absolutely no bananas. So those are the restrictions on your phase 1 diet. You can have eggs, cheese, whipping cream, butter, sour cream, cream cheese, nuts, meats, salad, coffee with butter in the morning, almond flour, coconut oil, vanilla, and the unsweetened, the sugar-free sweet substitute of your choice, like Truvia. Okay, so it boils down to this in phase 1. Let's see, today is Sunday. So I eat at 6 and at noon. And then Monday, I'll eat breakfast again, 6 and noon. And then Tuesday, I'll eat at noon and 6. Wednesday, noon and 6. Thursday, noon and 6. Friday is the day that I have my one meal. Now I'm just giving you my schedule. And then Saturday is noon and 6. So that's how my schedule rotates. That's how it works. So on Friday, I have that one meal. And when I have that one meal, I mean something that's going to last you enough for the day. You don't want to be starving, because then you're just going to cheat. So I usually have eggs, bacon, sliced tomatoes, maybe a small salad, and I have myself a dessert, which is, I'll tell you about the dessert that you can have on this diet. You can have a mug cake. And a mug cake is something that you make with, almond flour and coconut oil, vanilla, that type of thing. It has some whipping cream in it and an egg, and you put that in a cup. I'll leave the recipes down in the box below. You mix that up, put it in the microwave for about 90 seconds. You have to spray PAM. You need some PAM. So you need to spray that PAM stuff on your little mug, whatever mug that you choose to put in the microwave. Make sure it's a microwave mug. And you put it in the microwave and you let it cook for 90 seconds. And then you put it out on a plate, and it'll be enough for 2 desserts. You cut it in half. You can have half. And what I like to do for my dessert is I like to get some sugar-free syrup. And I like to pour some sugar-free syrup over the top of it, and I like to cut up some nuts, some nut meats, just a little bit, like, I don't know, walnuts or pecans or something like that, maybe even peanuts, I don't know, and spread it over the top with that sugar-free syrup in the mug cake, and that is really good. There's also a chocolate version of the mug cake that you can have, where you use sugar-free, that Hershey's sugar-free cocoa, that just dark cocoa, sugar-free. And all it is chocolate, no sugar in it at all. So you can put a tablespoon of that in there and make yourself a chocolate mug cake if you like. So I'll leave those recipes down below, as well as my recipe for my muffins. So that's kind of what my diet is, and it has changed my life. I'm on no medications. I don't take insulin. I don't take pills. I don't take anything, and my blood sugar stays down. I exercise. I like exercise tapes. I like those Leslie Sansone exercising tapes. I love those things. I have the best time walking with Leslie Sansone. And it seems to exercise my body and give me more mobility at my age, and it helps me out. So that's what I do with that. So that's phase 1 of your diet. It takes about 3 months, they say, to get down to where you want to be. Now, here's something else that you can use, but only 1/2 a cookie. You can also use this for a dessert in phase 1 if you're very, very careful and only eat half the cookie. That's real important because these are big cookies. I mean, my goodness, I'll show you how big they are. I don't mind opening it. These are big, huge cookies. So you only want to eat half of it. And you could do that on a Friday. When you're having one meal, you could use a half a cookie for dessert. Because you have to eat enough on Fridays or whatever day you choose to eat that one meal. That's just my schedule. To satisfy you for the rest of the day. So that's the key to the one meal day thing. So that's phase 1. Then in phase 2, see, I talked about all of those in phase 1. Phase 2 is the maintenance phase. So you can add a few more foods in there, but no potatoes of any kind. No sweet potatoes, nothing. No potatoes, no bananas, no chips, none of that stuff. So keep checking your meter. Your blood sugar meter is the most important friend you have because that's going to tell you what you can eat and what's good for you and what isn't. I like egg bites. Egg bites is one of my favorite little treats in the mornings or in the afternoons. It doesn't matter whenever I'm going to be eating. So this is what it comes down to. And I'll tell you what my eating schedule looks like and what I'm likely to eat. Now today, I had some egg bites already. You can go to Starbucks and get those egg bites. They have one with Gruyere cheese and bacon in it. That's perfectly keto. That's perfectly fine. So occasionally I'll let myself reward myself with some egg bites from Starbucks. I have a little egg bite machine that I've shown here before. It's a great little machine. You can get a 2-bite or a 4-bite egg bite machine, and it cooks your egg bites just perfectly. And it's just eggs and cheese. Eggs and cheese. So another thing that I have for breakfast on this diet is kerfluffles. Kerfluffles, that's what I said. Kerfluffles. And I don't know who made up the name, but what it is simply eggs and cheese. You take an egg and put some shredded cheese in there, like mozzarella cheese, and you whip it up and whip it up and whip it up, and you put it in one of these little one meal waffle cookers, just personal waffle cookers. You know what I mean, one of those little tiny ones about this big. And you cook that in there, and it comes out delicious. And what I do, my topping on there is I go to the store, I go to Publix or somewhere else, and I'll find those sugar-free strawberry jams, the one with the least carbs and the least amount of sugar, with no sugar in it at all. And I'll spread a little bit of that sugar-free strawberry jam on the top of my kerfuffle. So this is how it shakes out then. So my week goes like this. Sunday, today, I've had egg bites this morning, and I'll have pizza later on. Then Monday morning, I'll have muffins. I'll make myself some muffins. And when I do, the muffin recipe usually makes about 8 or 9, depending upon, sometimes 10, depending upon how big you want your muffins. So I'll get about 8 or 9 out of them, really. And so I'll have a muffin in the morning, and actually 2 in the morning. And then I'll have, because they're small, and then I'll have my egg bites in the afternoon. Then on Tuesday, I don't eat till 12:30. So at 12:30, I'll have a muffin, and then I'll have a dinner salad around 6. So Wednesday, I'll have muffins around 12:30, and then I'll have a pizza. Now, the pizza that I have is simply one of these little round, what do you call it? I don't know what the name of it is. This thing that you use for tacos and stuff that rolls up. These little mini ones. They're about this big. Quesadillas, whatever you want to call them. They're about this big. and you find the one that's lowest carb, the lowest carb ones, and I think they're called the snack ones. And you can have one of those. You put mozzarella cheese on the top, and you find the lowest pizza sauce that you can find. There's one in Publix that I use. It's got the lowest amount of carbs in it that I can find, and I put like a tablespoon or so on that quesadilla on top of the cheese, and then I put it in the microwave for a minute, and that's my pizza that I have. So on Wednesday I'll have 2 muffins, and at 12:30 I'll have a pizza. And you can also have a side salad. Doesn't hurt to have a hot side salad if you need that to fill you up. On Thursday I'll have kerfuffles, the waffle thing that I was explaining, and then around 6 o'clock in the evening I'll have egg bites. And you can have a salad with that. You can have bacon with that if you like. That's how you can do it. Fridays is the day that I choose for my one meal, and I will have bacon, eggs, and tomatoes. I love that combination, bacon, eggs, and tomatoes. It's just delicious. I never used to eat tomatoes for breakfast, but once I started, I just couldn't stop. They're just really, really good. So I'll have bacon, eggs, and tomatoes. I'll have a muffin, a leftover, one of my little blueberry muffins, or a dessert, one of those mug cakes, or a half a cookie, something like that, enough to fill me up for the rest of the day. So on Saturday, I'll eat at 12:30, and I'll have egg bites at 12:30 and a dinner salad at 6. And on Sunday, I'll have egg bites in the morning. I eat in the morning on Sunday, and then pizza at around 12:30. The reason why I eat in the mornings on Sunday is because I don't want my blood sugar to go down, either at church or if I'm watching online. I don't want my blood sugar to go down. So I'll just have my egg bites in the morning, and that will do me. And then pizza and maybe a side salad in the afternoon. So that's how I eat. It's a little bit different, but you'll find that you're full. You'll find that that weight just goes straight down. If you really stick to this diet, in no time, you're going to be at your high school weight. And I'm not kidding. That's what happened to me. It took 20 pounds off me really fast. And I really appreciated that because that weight was keeping me too big. So that's the diet that I do. And that's, there it is. That's how I work. So if you're curious, that's how I deal with my diabetes. I'm on no medication now. My blood sugar came off that 250 blood sugar. It's down in the low 120s or even lower right now. And I'm on my way down in the 5s. On my A1C, on my way down to the 5s. So now I want to talk to you something else. This is no God, no love. It's not enough to know about God. We were created to know God intimately and enjoy Him personally. To know God intimately and to know His ways, how He works. To know God intimately brings peace and tranquility to your soul. And to know God intimately gives us stability in difficult times. To know God intimately is to know His love for us. To know God intimately is necessary for victory over life's problems. I used to pray that God would help me find an answer to my diabetes. I used to pray that He would show me the right diet to help me bring down my weight and bring down my A1C. So to know God is to love Him and trust Him. So I pray that you will trust God today. And that's my story for today. I went a little long. I hope I didn't bore you, but that's my story with diabetes and how I am beating it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.